Good afternoon, everyone. Our webinar today is Preventive Maintenance. It's going to be presented by myself, Amanda Erickson, along with Rachel Peters. Our preventive maintenance, I'm going to give a little overview about it. It allows the users to keep their organization's equipment maintenance up to date, track equipment, and the cost of labor. For this webinar, if you guys have any questions about anything we go over, or you have other questions for our application, in the right-hand side of this the webinar, the go-to pane, you'll have a section for questions, and we'll address those at the end of the presentation. Also, we are recording this webinar, and we will send out the presentation with our materials in a couple of days. Our preventive maintenance application is based on the calendar date. It is not tracked by miles or hours. So if you have a machine, such as like you need to do an oil change, and you do that every 3,000 miles, in our system, you're going to have to base it off the calendar date, so just estimate. So say that's every 3 months, or often like that. We have report subscriptions that you guys will be able to subscribe to get an email that you can track your machine's maintenance per location. The only thing that'll be different for you guys is our user roles. So you'll see this grid at the bottom of my screen, and it will give more details of what each user role can do within the preventive maintenance application. For corporate, they have access to every location, of course, and they will be the ones that will be setting up all of the machine types, their parts and attributes, their subparts, their facility types, and your job plans. If you are business unit, region, and location admin, you'll be able to view, add, change, and delete for only the locations that you have access to. And then location edit users, you'll be able to change, add, and view machines, add machines, their work orders for the locations you have access to. The only user role that will not be able to add or change anything is location view. They only have access to view your work orders, so they will have to print those off and give them to their supervisor so they can come into the system and enter those as well. Here's just a little screenshot of a machine that we have. So it kind of gives you more details of what the definitions of what they mean, so you guys get more of a expanded example. So machine type, that is the actual, the category of your machine. So for this one, we're showing right here the caravan. You also can name those as delivery van, mixer, forklift. We have machine names, so that's going to be your specific machine name that your locations will enter, such as 2016 Dodge Caravan or 2012 Industrial Mixer, or if you call them the blue F-150 for your trucks. Your parts are going to be the parts of your machine, such as this one, the example is steering wheel. Other examples are battery, tire, oil filters. The attributes are going to be the specific parts that make the specific items that make up your part, such as steering ratio, or if our part was the tire, we have our tire brand, tire size. If you're doing an oil filter for your part, your attribute would be oil brand, the filter size, or anything that goes with that specific part for your machine. Job plans are the steps that you're going to take to complete a work order. So this one has an annual steering and suspension inspection. You could have your monthly changing your oil as a job plan. Subparts are the parts that aren't usually on a normal frequency. They're kind of extra parts of your machine. So this one is the steering wheel cover. Another subpart would be a spare tire. So that's stuff that you're not going to check every month, but you should occasionally check that. All right, now I'm going to go into our system here. When you log into the applications RCI Safety, it'll bring you here to our home screen. One of the ways that you can add your machines, if you are a location edit and above user, will be able to go to administration, and then you will have administration right here, and then you'll see this equipment log administration. So the equipment log is a different way to add your machines to certain locations before going into preventive maintenance. That way, when you're in preventive maintenance, that list will be shown there in the drop-down. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on it, equipment log administration, and then show you how to add these. You'll click on your location, pick your region. And we're in Seattle. If you know which specific department you want this to be available for, you can select your department here, or you can have it available for all departments. And that's just going to filter what you see right here on the bottom. So if you want to add your new equipment, you can add it here. Just type in your name. And then you'll see if you want to switch that department, you also have the option right here to do that. And you just click Add Equipment. And this can be where you go in and you're just adding your different equipment without putting in all the specifics and setting up the work orders. So that's how you use the equipment log. So now if we're wanting to go in and add our machine with the specifics, we'll go to Applications, Preventive Maintenance. You'll see right here our location is already picked for Seattle based off of what we just picked before. Your departments, you want to make sure you're showing the correct department. So that way you can see the correct information down here in the grid. You want to make sure you have the correct system in here. Every company would have their own specific systems that they set up. And then down here in the grid, you're going to see all the machines that have been previously entered. So you'll have the way to edit your machines. We have your ID column, which is an RCI ID, your location, the machine name, and then your company-specific machine number, the machine type, the job plans that are associated with that machine, and then if that machine is critical or not. These grids, you'll be able to right-click on these if you want to do any sorting, or if you don't want to show as many columns, you can remove those columns as well. And then you can bring them back. The other thing with our grids, we have these search box right here. So if I wanted to only look at the 2014 John Deere, I could just type in 2014 and hit enter. And it's only going to show that in the grid. So now to add your machines to your location, you'll hit this button right here that says Add Machine. Our location and department automatically was pre-selected from before. You'll have your system that you want to put your machine in. We're going to put that in the PMA system. Our machine type that we're adding today is going to be a delivery van. And then the next option you'll see right here is a drop down, and then it says type in the new name. So in this drop down, it will show the 2014 Dodge Caravan that I added previously on that equipment log. So anything you add on that equipment log will show right here in this drop down, as well as any removed from service machines that we have as well. So we're going to add a new one today. So you'll just type in your new name right here. We're going to call it a Dodge Caravan. And your page will reload. And then you'll have this machine number. So that is going to be a machine number that is specific for your actual company. So if you guys call this Dodge Caravan number 44 or any other kind of numbers T62, anything like that, you'll be able to put that in here. So that way you guys know it's between, within your location easier. The critical right here, if a machine is marked critical, you can click that. And if any of your job plans that are for critical machines only will populate in here. If not, you can unclick it. So with the critical, so if a machine is critical, that means that it's stopping the whole process. So it's completely shut down, and you need to get production to be flowing again. So if it's not critical right now, you can leave it blank there. The next part you'll see when we put in our machine type here, these parts and attributes uploaded right here. So our parts for this delivery van is a tire, air filter, and battery. The attributes for these parts are the size, manufacturer, maximum allowable working pressure, and so on. So you'll just come in here and put in your information. So we'll put in size, 17. Our manufacturer is RT43. And then if you guys just keep going down this information, and all this parts and attribute data will stay with this Dodge Caravan once we hit save. The next box over you'll see are the work orders, your job plans, sorry, not your work orders, your job plans. So you see the scheduled date, and you'll see here that it's in red, the date is required. So these are required job plans for this machine. So your battery maintenance, we're going to go in here and set it up for today. Another job plan is checking your brake pads, and you'll see this one is a weekly, and the one before was a semi-annually. So that's the frequency that those are on. If you have any notes or any information specific for this Dodge Caravan, you can put it in this text box right here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that we have our subparts. So if we need to add our subparts onto this specific Dodge Caravan, onto our specific machines, you can do that by coming down here. You'll see our subpart category. We're going to do a spare tire. We're going to name it Dodge Caravan Spare Tire. And you're going to click Add Subpart. And you'll see up here at the top, we got this annual spare tire inspection that came in here as well, and it uses today's date because that's the date we added it. If you need to change that, you can just click in here and change it to what you want. Right down here are the supporting files. So if you want to upload anything such as the manual for your Dodge Caravan or any other documents that you have for this machine, or any past maintenance that you want to be tracked with this machine to keep it with it, you can put it in here in your Upload File button. Down here at the bottom, we'll want to save this. You'll see we have a save, a back, the save and stay, and then we'll have the options for remove from service and permanently delete. For this one, we just want to hit save. And it'll bring us out here to our main page. And you'll see that we now have our Dodge Caravan, which is our delivery van, with all of our set up job plans in here.
Okay, so now if you want to remove a machine from service, you'll go search for your machine here in the grid, like Amanda showed you, and then you go click on Edit next to that machine. And then what you can do is all the information that's entered here will save with this machine, even though it's removed from service. But then you'll see the button down here that says it's not deleting it. If you remove it from service, it's just going to list it in that equipment drop-down for machines removed from service. And just make sure that you don't hit permanently delete, because if you do that, then it's going to remove it completely and you won't even see it in the list of machines. But you can contact your RCI customer service, or you can talk to your account manager if that accidentally happens, and we can usually get that revived for you. So I'll go ahead and click on this to remove it from service. Click OK. Okay. So now that that is removed from service, I say might need it later, so I want to bring it back to service. To bring that machine back, you need to be at the location that it was removed from service, and any departments that might have been assigned to it to show, you can adjust that here. You go to Add Machine, and then just kind of like adding a new machine, what will select the system. The type was the job planner, and then the equipment name. And as you'll notice, all the job plans that were associated to it and the dates that you had previously show up. So you'll have to go in, if it's been a while, and kind of redo those dates to get them to show correctly in your grid. And all of your parts and attributes, if you'll also notice here, they save with the machine, so they will be brought back as well. When you're done adjusting all of your dates and stuff, go ahead and come down here and click on Save. And that'll bring it back to life here in the grid for that location. Now, say we want to move this to a different location. For users that have access to different locations and you need to get your active machine at Seattle moved to some other place, what you'll do is you'll click on Edit again, and then you just change the location here. So say I want to move this to Texas. Once I do that, it should still keep all of the information. I'll hit on Save. That does not work. All right, I need to select the system. Make sure that the correct information is showing there. We'll try this again. Super. Okay. So, it didn't save, but anyways, the process is if you want to change locations, the machine needs to be active, then you can go in, you change the location, it may reset, so you will have to pick your machine type again, and then if you don't do that, if it doesn't require you to do that, then you can just click Save, and it should remove it from the grid here and transfer it to another location. But we'll look into this error that just happened. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. Now, we will also look at performing a work order now. Location Edit and above can go to Administration or Admin C. Location Edit goes to Administration, and then they come on down to PMA and go to labor hours. Corporate users will have to use their Admin C, and theirs is located in the Program C. You go to Preventive Maintenance, and it's Labor Cost Administration here. They both look the same. So whatever locations that the user has access to will list in this dropdown. You select that location. You can enter the labor cost per hour if there's a certain labor cost that you need to, which can always be edited on the work order. But you can enter that here and save, and that will show on your work orders to kind of help calculate the hours involved and the cost. So I'm going to go back to Preventative Maintenance. And we're going to go ahead and perform a work order. To do so, you'll want to click on the Perform Work Order button right here. And all of the scheduled and including one-times are going to list here. It'll list on the grid, but this is where you would come in to actually perform it online, or you have the option as well to print. So we'll click on Work Order. Say we want to complete this semi-annual battery maintenance one. The scheduled date was the 19th, so we're a little behind. We'll complete that today. The time is not required, but if it's known, you can input the time of day. The work started by, I will enter my name. You can add to the comments that are already there if you needed. And then you always want to put, before you complete it, the work done by. If you can't see the name, you can type it in over here. So I'll go ahead and put my name there as well. And then down here, all of your costs are going to list down here. Here's where you see that 15 that we just saw in the administration for the labor costs. And like I said, that can be removed and edited if needed. It's not really required that you enter any of this information. And then you can upload files here. And like I said, when you will upload a file, okay, you can give it a friendly name if you want to. Let's put this in the file name. Okay, and then I'm going to hit Save and Stay real quick. You can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so here is our image that we had. You'll notice that the battery specification sheet from the machine shows up once you save. That comes from the machine page. Any job type files that are going to be here, or that list here, come from the admin side. So it could be maybe attached to the job plan or the machine type. And that's not something you can edit. Only corporate will have that ability. But if you want to remove any of these, if you notice under attached files, there's instructions that tell you how to remove and save. Check this box, and then when you're done completing your work order, you'll want to save. Do not hit delete. That will delete the entire work order. And that will remove, we'll hit save and stay so we can finish this work order. And that removed it, as you see, without taking it, the other one completely out too, or removing this work order. And then you'll see your parts and attributes are displayed down here as well from your machine. And job plan steps, you would just go in, and who's ever completing the work order, make your comments, initial here that you took all the required steps to performing that work order. And when you're done, click on Save. I'm going to scroll down here. Make sure that you check your date parameters, because if it doesn't show, it might not be because it didn't save. It's just because the date's probably off. We completed that today. As you'll see, it's got all the information here. Work done by me. And here's our labor cost. If any other cost would have been in here, it would have calculated a total over here at the end in the last column there. But since I didn't enter anything, it's just going to have, it won't have anything for you. But you can always go back into that work order and edit it if you want to by clicking on this icon. Job plan steps currently are not able to be edited, so make sure that once you've initialed and you've made comments in this area that that is what you want. And later it will be so that anyone who completes this job plan and enters the comments and stuff, they will be able to edit their own comments. but for right now, it's not going to be allowed. You can also print the work order, but these are going to, like I said, these will be the list, so you can print out the history if you want to. We have a report for that we'll discuss later. Yep, and then once it's finished, you will see that it goes to the bottom here, and it was rescheduled, and it is based on the frequency of your completion date. So even though it was scheduled on the 19th, I completed it today, so it's going to reschedule 6 months from today. And then we'll go back here. Oh, I could show you one times actually, but we'll do that with the front page. All right. First, we'll talk about these icons too before I go over to, we're going to switch over to the PMA Calendar so you can see this. There's work orders here, and this is just going to give you the list of all work orders, whether they're overdue or scheduled to be due. You can use that as a quick reference to find the work orders and complete them that way as well. We also have the Add Work Order button. This is not actually adding a new work order like for a job plan. This is just adding a one-time work order or emergency work order. We can click on Add New Work Order, or Add Work Order, sorry. And on the one-times, we'll just go ahead and assign it to the machine I was just in. We'll hit Emergency Work for this one. If you're scheduling it to be completed but haven't actually completed it yet, just type in your name. And I'm going to schedule it a little ahead of time, so we'll schedule it for the 1st of May. And we need to put in work done. That is a required area, so we'll just put clean up. And then you can upload files again here. Down here you'll notice that we have mileage. That is an element that RCI admin can add for work order forms. So when you're performing a work order, say since we don't track by mileage, we can add that element for you, and we have a report that will show that so that you can kind of track your mileage and stuff for now. This way, we can add employee list, anything that you want. It's just something nice that we can do for you if you want to, but you'll have to contact your RCI account manager or customer service. That's not something that users have access to. And then we'll save this. So now you'll see over here that there is a one-time work order. This emergency work that we had. It's showing here, and it shows on the work order page like we saw before. It does not show on the edit machine page. If you go into that machine, one-times are not showing there because they're not scheduled. Only scheduled job plans will show on your machine edit page. Now we're going to take a look at the PMA Calendar. So go to Applications, and it's located right underneath Preventative Maintenance. Okay. You want to select the location. If it's blank, it's just because you haven't selected the location yet to get all of the work orders that are scheduled, overdue, anything like that. They will all list here. Today's date will be highlighted, and you can either have the option to view per month like we have here, or you can click on this link that says switch to whole year view, which is a little, if you prefer that, I'm going to go back to month just so we can focus on the 1 month. In the calendar, you can select the month you wish to view. It automatically will default to the current month. And then you see these in orange, these are all links, print links. You can hit print week, and that will print out all of these work orders that you see for this week. Print all, that will print just the ones for that day. Or you can just click on one of them and that will just print the one work order, as you can see here. Okay, then if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see today is highlighted. We have our key, so you can kind of know, the scheduled maintenance here, the future scheduled is listing here, completed. We don't have any showing right now to show the completed. Check on that box up here, and then the page will reset, and you should be able to see here is a completed one. And then we completed one today. These are going to list all of your past dues at the very bottom. What you can do from here is you can print it like you can the links, or you can click on the edit button, and that's going to take you directly to the online work order so that you can complete it then, and then it'll get rescheduled as well. Okay, last thing I can think of here on the PMA calendar is that you also have the ability to add one-time work orders from there, just like you did, I showed you a minute ago. You have that option here as well, and you can schedule them and see them listed. Like I said, they will show in the calendar as well as in the grid and on the work order page itself.
The next thing we're going to talk about is our report. That way you guys are able to look at all the data that you entered into the system and track your information as well. So to get to our report library, you'll click here on Report Library. And you'll see, depending on what user role you have, you'll see the different options here, what you guys have access to. So the first one that we're going to go ahead and look at is you go to Location, and you come down to Preventive Maintenance, and we're going to look at this Open Work Orders report. So once it's open, you'll see you have your parameters up here at the top. You'll just go ahead and pick your information you want here, your location, your job plans, if you want them to show critical, the systems that you want to show in here, your machine types, if you want to just look at specific machines, your machine name, and the department. So the Open Work Orders report is going to show all open work orders, any that are past due, and also the future scheduled work orders. We'll scroll down here. You're going to see we have our machine names, the machine number, your location, the job plan type, your frequency, the scheduled date. You'll see like this first one is overdue. And then we also have on this work order, you'll have a link there. If you click that, it will open the work order so you can complete that. And then all the work done and comments here as well. When you are running your reports, you will be able to export these. You'll see a little, like a floppy disk icon here. If you click that, you'll be able to put it in a different format that you want, such as we want to look at this one as an Excel. We would just click that Excel button there, and it would bring a little pop-up down here that we can open up to show you more information, all the detail there. So you can filter it however you want it. The other things on our reports, we have subscriptions. So if you want this to be emailed to you so you get an alert every month, if you want it twice a month, you want it to be weekly, we have these subscriptions that you can set up for you. So we're going to do, this one's going to be monthly, the first of the month here. You're going to pick your format that you want it. We're going to say we want it as an Excel file, and then you're going to give it a friendly name. So this one you could type it as Open Work Orders Report. If you filtered it down more, so if we were only looking at the Galveston location, you could put in here the Galveston Open Work Orders Report. You're going to click Add Subscription. So the only way that you will get this email to you is if you have an email set up in your user profile. you want to make sure that you do have that, or else you will not get our emails. If you want to subscribe someone else at your location as well to get these reports, you have this button here that says subscribe others. If you just click on that, it will open up a new screen. You'll be able to get a list of your users at your location. You'll see any of my users that are in red. They do not have emails in the system. So you want to make sure if we want to send this to Kaylee Ann, we'll have to go into her user profile and add an email for her. So we're going to say we want this to be also sent to Kinley. You can type in that new, that friendly name, and then add subscription for others. Another report that we like to show people is the cost analysis report. So you go to location, preventive maintenance, PMA cost analysis. And it will have the same information at the top here, your parameters. You want to make sure you have the correct parameters before you click View Report. I'm going to scroll down here so you get a better picture of what it shows. It's going to have your company hours, the company labor costs. As you see, it has our default already in here. The contract hours worked, contractor total labor costs, all the hours, and then your material costs as well. Then it gives you a total cost. So this is a good report to show, so you can see how much money you're spending on each machine. So that way you know, okay, we're spending a lot of money on this one machine. Maybe it's time to get a new machine, or try to fix something for that way long term it stays healthy for you. So you'll see here we have all your machines listed here, and then these reports as well you'll be able to export out so you can look at it in a better view for yourself. Another report that we talked about before is the machines removed from service report. So this is going to list out all the machines that have ever been removed from service. So this is a good one to have when you want to bring those machines back. That way you have the correct machine type, and then the department and the location as well in the system. And then it will also tell you when it was actually removed from service. I'm going to just go back to my main screen of the report library. So if you had any subscriptions that you were subscribed to, they would show here on this main page. Right now I don't have any, so it's saying I have 0 here. You'd be able to view and edit those, and then you'd also be able to see when the last time they were sent out, and then you'd be able to change the format of those as well. So I discussed how to subscribe others to the reports. So if you click here, View Subscriptions, this will be where you're going to go to be able to see anybody else that you added subscriptions for. So we're going to pick a user in here. I'm just going to go ahead and click All so we can see everybody. You're going to view your report. We're going to look at Preventative Maintenance. The actual report that we want to look at will be our open work order. And then if you had a certain group, you'll see those here. If not, it will just come up down here. So here's all of these subscriptions that you've subscribed others to. So you'll see here you'll be able to edit it. You can view the report. Here's the employee's name, the group, the report name. We're only looking at open work orders. If you had a new friendly name for it, the schedule, and then the last status of it and when it was last ran. You'll be able to remove that here for them as well. So when we're talking about our subscription alerts, you'll get those in an email. Here's what the email will look like. It will just have that friendly name that you put in here, so that way you know what it is called. It'll give you, we were doing the Excel file, so it'll give you that attachment here. It'll give you information and a link to go to the actual website to look at this report if you wanted to. You can just open it right here, and here's what it's going to look like on the Excel.
If you don't feel like going to the report library, we have a few quick reports in our new feature that's called Dashboard. As you can see up here under your name, it says try our new dashboard. That is a link to the dashboard. Or you can also get there by going to Applications and selecting Dashboard. This is what your dashboard is going to look like. Once you click on that link, we'll go to Applications route. This is the PMA compliance, and so this comes from the report library. Then work order calendar, you can set that up so that all of your work orders list here depending on what settings you have. And then we also have the work order lookup, and you can type in, say, I want to look at 1513506. I type that in, it shows down here, you know, the machine name, the location. You click on search, and that's going to take you directly to that work order. There's your work order number, the machine name that we just saw, and you can complete it that way. For those of you who don't have the dashboard link, it's just a matter of contacting RCI. You can contact us through the customer support services or your account manager, and it's in our account settings, so we can get that turned on for you so you can get to use that if you haven't already.
I'm just going to go over some of our company account settings that we have set up for you. This will something that your account manager will have to turn on if you want to use any of these settings, and these have to come from your corporate users to request to turn these on. So some of the stuff we looked at today was showing the parts and attributes on our actual printout. So if you want that data on your printout for your work orders, you want to have this turned on. If you critical machines making schedule require, if you want to require the scheduling when you check that machine is critical, we want to make sure we have that turned on. If we want to allow business users and above to change schedule dates for required job plan work orders, those are stuff that your corporate users at your companies will have to contact your account manager to turn this on for you. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here for if you guys need any help. We have our help files. We also have a live chat feature that is available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, Central Time. We have help desk tickets if you guys just want to pop in a little ticket to us, and we'll have somebody answer those back for you. You can always call us at the customer service, and then contact your account manager for any other questions you have. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the questions that we had submitted. And if you have any other questions, just go ahead and type those in now, and we'll get to those. So the first question we have is, if we do not see equipment log under admin, is there something missing for the corporate setup? So corporate users for your company determine if they want to use this equipment log feature or not. If you do not see this feature under the administration side, you can go ahead and reach out to your account manager. The reason companies use this feature is to pre-populate the machine list, so the employees adding the machine do not have to add machine names themselves. Second question, how do you add new systems or change them? This is also a corporate feature. So if you're a corporate user and you ask this question, you're wondering how to do this, you will just go back to the administration, and then Program C, and then to Preventive Maintenance, over here to Preventive Maintenance. to access. This will be where you can add your systems in here. Otherwise, if you do not know how to do this and you want you're a location user and you want to be able to add new systems, you can contact your corporate admin to adjust this feature, or you can talk to your account manager. The training for today is just the application side. So that's why we didn't go into much detail about the admin or the setups. The third question, how do we add new locations? This again is a corporate feature. You can contact your corporate admin for this or your account manager to learn more about adding new locations. Next question, how do we add job plan types? This as well is a corporate feature. This will be set up by your corporate users, so it's best to reach out to them and have them set up job plan types. So if you have some already set up or you want new ones, you want to change in these steps, I would talk to your corporate user, and if they need more details about this, they can contact their account managers as well. If you are a corporate user, you'll go to the same place we discussed right here. You'll see on my screen the Program C, Preventative Maintenance, and you'll see that if you are a corporate user, your top icons here look different than we showed before. So you'll see where you add your machine types, your parts, your attributes, and then job plans. So this will be where you can add your new job plan types or edit any of them. Are there any other questions? We'll give you a couple minutes to type it all out. Okay, we aren't getting any questions in yet, so we're going to go ahead and end this for today. We will be emailing out all of the material that we covered and the recording for this webinar. And if you do have any questions that we did not cover, please get in contact with your corporate users. And then if they still have questions, please contact the account manager for your company.
Looks like somebody said wait, so we're going to let them type their question real quick.
Okay.
Give them a second here. Okay, so the question is, how do I add lockout tagout to specific machines? That's a very detailed answer, so what you can do for that, to get that answer and learn how to attach that, contact your customer support services via live chat, or you can contact your account manager and they can get all that information for you. Is there any other questions? So, it says, is the only way to get the work orders sent and emailed to managers is by subscribing individuals to subscriptions? And the answer is yes. The preventative maintenance application, the work orders are attached to locations, not individual users. So if you want people to be alerted about doing specific work orders, then you'll need to subscribe them to a report and send that out on some type of frequency as a reminder.
I believe we have one more question. It says, why are there so many settings that I, as a corporate user, still have to contact RCI account manager customer support? So the setup for a corporate user, you're going to be the one setting up everything overall. You're just going to set up the parts, the attributes, the job plans, the machine types. And then that's going to be just the overall general information, and then your location users will go in and put in the more specific details for that specific machine. So you're just setting up what they need to track pretty much. Is there anything else that we can answer for you guys today? Thank you for joining our presentation today, and just a reminder, we will be sending this information out to you guys, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us through the help desk, tickets, live chats, or calling your account manager. Thank you.